security as well, because crime appears to be taking a new form these days. In fact, it's becoming more sophisticated and becoming more prevalent on the internet. Already, the Ghana Police Service says it is taking proactive measures to deal with a growing trend of fraud across the country. Fortunately, Adib is not gone. He's here with us. The Ghana Police Service would also join us online to talk about this. We have Superintendent Alexander Obin, who's also acting Public Affairs Director of the Ghana Police Service, joining us in this conversation. Thank you, sir, for your time. So, how is this trend looking like from your table in terms of the statistics that you have? Are you receiving more reports of fraud online, and what's the new trend it's taking? Well, even before we have Superintendent Alexander Obin, I'm sure that Adib has also been watching all of these new trends as well. But we have a report for you, a very short one, capturing all that's been going on, and then we'll have Adib's take on this.
Economic and Organized Crime Office warns of emergence of online scammers taking undue advantage of unsuspecting public in the guise of doing business with them. According to COP Mamitiwa Adudankwa, Iyoko has in recent times observed a rise in cybercrime and has been working with telecom companies to identify and crack down on those behind the practice. She says putting an end to the practice will require collaboration between National Investigations Bureau, police, Iyoko and other security agencies.
If we don't stop it now, it will get to a point where people would have lost money, and you understand what it means to us. People are crying, some of them are committing suicide because they had invested so much and they have lost their money. And now it becomes an issue not only for the police, and sometimes it is for the government too. Because when they enter and things don't go well, they come back to the government and they say government should pay the money. So we shouldn't allow it to happen at all. That is why we should work hard. Any information that we get, we shouldn't take it for granted. We should work on them. And together, Yoko here, BNI here, National Security here, police here, everybody on the ground.
COP Mamitiwa Adudankwa is on a working visit to the Ashanti region. She has been meeting heads of NIB, police and the Attorney General's department in the region. The meeting, which seeks to foster collaboration between the agencies, is to promote law and order. Iyoko says it is working to clamp down on online scams, but has cautioned the public against the re-emergence of Ponzi schemes.
People set up investment online and then they tell you to bring money and that you earn so much interest. At the end of the day, when they've been able to get some people to collect their money, they shut down the platform and then you can't find them again. So we check and we realize that these organizations are not registered by BOG, they are not registered by Security and Exchange Commission, and even not by the Registrar General. So it's just some people who have devised those means to take money from people, and majority of people are vulnerable. They hear high interest rates and then they go for it. So we advise the general public to not to fall victim to that. If you want to invest in any organization, you need to do a little bit of background check. What is this organization? Is that organization registered, licensed by the regulators, Bank of Ghana, Security and Exchange Commission? And that is when you invest. We are also trying to look, and we can't even find them. They are just online. You know, the cyber space is like that. It comes with its own anonymity. You can't find the people. They are not registered. So, but we are still working around the corner, working with the telcos, because they are using mobile devices and then telephone numbers. So we are working with them to find out who are those behind those online scammers. And at the end of the day, the law will have to take its own course.
Security agencies and the AG's office in the Ashanti region have pledged their support to Yoko. First is the Ashanti Regional Police Commander, DCOP Afobwachi Yadom.
We are going to offer her the necessary support for her to be successful.
Definitely, when you bring the work, we will work. It's going to be on a daily basis. Immediately you bring it, it's not as if it's going to lie down for this time in a week. Doctors leave this office.
From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohiminteria reporting.
So that's the indication we're getting from the Economic and Organized Crime Office. But we also need to hear from you out there. What's your recent experience online in terms of fraud, and what do you have to share with us? Feel free to call us now, 0302 211 691. Or two, you can share your concerns with us. Deep Sunny is still here, so obviously he would be able to give you some guidelines as to what you'd be able to do to contain that. But you've seen the statement from the Economic Crime Office. Do you feel that they are up to task in cracking down on this trend?
Absolutely. We need to build that institutional capacity. There needs to be commitment on the part of various stakeholders. That is why it's important that they just don't look inwardly, but they get in touch. They reach out to other stakeholders within that field, so we can see how collectively we can improve security. But there's this very common phenomenon on Facebook and other social media, sites that is imperative our viewers know of.
Right.
The sale of items. These days, what they do is you buy the items, you pay, then it's never delivered.
Oh, really? That's a trend now. You buy items, you don't get them.
No.
You pay for the service, and yet you won't get that in return.
The offer is so good, you become desperate. They did that to a lady who saw a furniture set, very beautiful, going for 2,000 cedis, something that cost about 15,000 cedis.
Interesting.
She paid and it never came, so she came what we could do to track the person. But the thing is, when she went to the page later, the owners of the page had actually disabled the comment section. So this is a very important information our viewers should note. Never ever buy from an online shop that has disabled the comment section.
But you see, that's the era in which we are today. If you want a service, all you need to do is to run onto the internet, get one of these applications, and place your order. At times, you even make payment, and you have the products delivered to you. Are you saying that you're not encouraging online trading? Is that the point?
If you can walk to the shop, fine. However, we want convenience, okay? So if you have no option, or you prefer that convenience, there are two things to watch out for. One, the comment section, to ensure that other people have bought, even though there's a possibility they could have their people commenting, all right, and whoever comments negatively might be deleted. But the next thing to do is to ensure that you never effect any payment until you receive the item, inspect it, and ensure that it is what you paid for or you requested before you make that payment.
So what they do now, and help us understand this, so they give you a price tag which is way below how much it is that you would indeed get your product on the market.
Exactly.
And then what's next? What do they do, really?
Okay, so they ask you to pay before the item is delivered to you. And sometimes, like I indicated, people get desperate, and after you pay, they block your number. You would never be able to get in touch with them
again.
And some of them actually open fake accounts.
Just for that purpose.
Fake accounts, just like the chain stores of.
But let's see if there are similar concerns about what you're raising now. Unfortunately, Dan is joining us from Cape Coast. Dan, what's your experience really? Dan, if you can hear me, I'm asking about your experience.
Yes. All right. So my experience was, I bought a NASCO TV from Malcolm, and
Dan, you would have to turn down the volume on your radio, your TV set, I should say. Yes.
I bought a NASCO TV from Malcolm, and I had a warrant. A year warrant. I think after 3 years the TV spoiled, and I called Malcolm for repairs. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm with you, Dan.
Yes, I called Malcolm for repairs, and then
Dan appears to be having a challenge, but you could still reach out to us. Seidu is joining us from Cape Coast. Seidu, what's your experience? Yes, Seidu, let's hear from you.
Hello, I'm saying that I was transferring money from my bank to my wallet. Then it landed on somebody. I mistakenly mistakenly wallet. Yes. So I mistakenly sent it to somebody's wallet. Then when I called her and said he didn't see any money in his wallet, and I'm having all the details with me here. So I don't know how I'm going to deal with that one.
Interesting point there. It appears that you sent.
I'm telling you. So up to now, I'm having the all his pictures, his ID card, numbers, and other things are there. But
right.
the fellow is called Grace.
I can imagine how hard it is for you now. Say you joining us from K Poly on that with your experience. Your experience is that you sent money, you didn't really. You sent it to a wrong person actually, and the earlier one from Dan is indicating to us that similar to what you were saying, Adib, that they give you a price of a product, you pay for it, and you seem not
you
not
never receive it.
right.
But the second caller,
right.
I mean, sometimes it does happen. Severally, some of us have been called. Oh, I mistakenly sent you money. Can you send it back to me? So even if you mistakenly send someone money, the person would think you are one of those guys.
Yeah, it's because of the trend we are seeing now. Let's hear from Frank as well. Frank is joining us from Pando in the Volta region. Frank, let's hear you.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Frank.
Yeah, I am mobile money user at ATM. Some people call my line, they say they send money to my account, and they told me they suspend my line, so I should go to mobile vendor for them to restore my line. Before I realized they withdraw money from the mobile vendor, 990. They told me the code is 990, I should tell the mobile vendor. So they withdraw money from the mobile vendor account, which I have compared to pay to the mobile vendor. And when I reported to NTM line, they said they will do investigation from last year October, 10th of October up to now. That I didn't hear anything from NTM. So they are attempting again to fraud me. They call my line, they say they put money into my account. So when you reported to NTM, they say they will do investigation. They are not doing. So I want a help to how can we track down these people who are defrauding us through the line. Thank you.
Frank, we're grateful that you've been able to share your experience with us.
So it let people know that those who call them that they transfer money to their account, you alert. Okay. I have two numbers. One bear Janet Assembly. The money go to his account up to now. The line is deleted. I reported to NTM. They didn't block the line. The line is still working.
Frank, we understand your concern. I guess that's a challenge that you're facing. But let's do the last call from it's from Paul. Paul is in Takwa. Paul, what's your story as well?
I met some of these guys online. We started the business. They send me pictures of the items I am requesting for. Then later on, they demanded for part payment. I've made part payment, and the items were never brought.
How much did they give you a price that was below what you would normally get on the market?
Yes, please.
Okay.
So they gave me 1,001. So I've sent the part of the money, but the items were never brought. So I kept on calling, and they also kept on refusing to take my calls.
Right. And I can see that you're also laughing about the situation and how these guys really go about their activities. But just stay with us on the Journey channel. Adip Sani has some tips for you, what you need to be on the lookout for, what you need to actually do to address that. Yes, Adip.
So
you've heard all our
from
callers.
here, I'm going to the CID headquarters for your information.
Oh,
yeah,
wonderful.
Someone was duped to a tune of 230,000 Ghana cedis. And
that's a lot.
That's a lot of money. So you would need help from the CID. So after this show,
what would you really advise? What's the tip?
Okay, the first thing is to report to the police because these guys are serial scammers. Okay, they might be doing it to several other people. So it's important that the police knows. But I think it is also imperative that whatever you do you think about it. Does it sound right before going ahead to do it? For example, paying before the item is brought to you. I think we must refrain from doing that. Sometimes these guys.
Okay, so you ensure what you need to do is to ensure that before you pay for any item at all that you are ordering online, make sure that you go ahead, ensure that you see the products for yourself, take it, inspect it, make sure that it's safe. And then you make the payment.
Might see the pack,
right?
But in the pack is not a phone.
That's an interesting one too. You could open up and be surprised about it.
Exactly. Sometimes when it comes to you are happy, then you pay the rider and off he goes.
Yeah.
And sometimes they also call, make it look like you've met them before. Oh, don't you remember me? Okay, I now work for a water company and we need some chemicals.
Right.
So I'm going to connect you with the white man. You would call him.
That's how the story normally starts. We'll continue this. Just hold on for us. Superintendent Alexander Albin is joining us via phone. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. So we understand that crime, fraud is taking a new form now. What's the reports that you're receiving on your desk at the Ghana Police Service, and what would you advise the public to do? Hello, Superintendent.
No, hello.
Yes, I was just asking about the new forms crime is actually taking and fraud is taking as well.
I'm not the one.
Well, it looks like there's a mix-up there. A caller also sharing his experience with us. We're still working the lines to have Superintendent Alexander Albin join us. But here we are. And, it's unfortunate that he will not be able to share his experience. But just as you are indicating to us, the first thing you need to do is to go to the Ghana Police Service.
Exactly.
And then lodge your complaint.
Complaints. But
the concern is the police service in itself is not equipped enough to deal with these cases when you take them there. You go to the Ghana Police Service, for instance, and you file a complaint, and some of the officers really don't even care about the situation.
True. It's true. A lot of people have complained. As a matter of fact, I even know a gentleman who was robbed and never reported to the police. In security studies, we have what we call the broken glass theory. As minor as an offense it is for a glass to be broken, if it is not looked into, next time it could be murder. So I think it's also imperative on the part of the police to attach seriousness to these cases brought before them as part of the confidence building measure that has been implemented by the new IGP. I think gradually, I mean, we are not there yet, but gradually we're getting there. A lot more Ghanaians are beginning to have confidence in the police service.
Okay, we need to be wrapping up on this conversation, but Dan will be giving you the very final opportunity to also share his story. I think Dan was having a challenge earlier when he called. Dan, let's hear you out. Okay, some terrible line there. But Adib, let's get your final word to our listeners on this matter.
Okay, I think we need to exercise a great deal of circumspection on social media. Let us not click everything we see online. Sometimes they send us the link. They are phishing sites. So when you tap on it, they are able to collect your data. And if you discuss shoes with me, the next time you go on social media, you see shoes all over the place. And that is how they get you becoming interested. So I think it's always important that we think before we act.
Okay, so let's deal with the Ghana Police Service. Let's see what they also have to tell us. Superintendent Alexander Albin is joining us. He will provide us with some public education on this. Good afternoon to you, sir. We understand that fraud is obviously taking a new form now, particularly on social media where a lot of people are having challenges. What's your report? What's the report you're getting, indications you're getting on your desk at the Ghana Police Service?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I think where we are, all of us should be part of this general sensitization of the general public, because the ICT revolution is everywhere because of this telephony capacity and the fact that majority of Ghanaians are gradually becoming compliant, and therefore I pray that the media will support in this direction so that the issue of the use of mobile phone, connecting it with the internet, getting data and communicating one-on-one and in groups, otherwise called social media. With these attendant challenges, it's something that the Ghanaian, in certain instances, is having the problem. But majority of these are things that are also not new, because it looks as if some victims have to also have to be blamed. The fact that because you do the analysis at the end of the day, it's either they don't know the one they are communicating with, and because of the juicy promises that comes with it, without any work, people become gullible, and they are found wanting. They are cheated. Properties that they have so worked for are expropriated from them, and in the end, they report for investigation. There are instances that the forensics unit are doing their best to assist victims of these crimes.
Okay.
But as a crime, and how it is emerging and increasing, the aspect of it in terms of sensitization is why I'm here advocating that all of us should be hands on deck to ensure that and inform all our clients that the social media platform is no different from where we are in terms of meeting and having physical conversation and engagement. And therefore, it shouldn't be seen as sacrosanct and believe it, and not even knowing the other person on the other side. You don't show so much trust and share your vitals and secret and confidential information with those that you don't trust, those that you don't see them, those that you are not required by any law, except your own gullibility to share information and avoid it.
Public education is good, but the concern is also about the action the Ghana Police Service is taking up, going after these people. What measures are you really putting in place to check this? Because it's becoming...
First of all, we are way straight ahead because under our structure, the investigation wing has established, like I said, forensic. And if you come to our office close to Public Affairs Directorate, the place is start busy with trained police officers and other support staff and equipment, and we are doing what we can to ensure that with the application of the modern technology equipment and human ingenuity, we are able to also do post incident analysis and also prevent in certain instances. And there are so many instances that apprehension have been made and cases that are being investigated, some have been put before court, among others. And so, for us, we are positioned as well as doing our best. But, like I said, it has also an aspect of ensuring that our clients are also informed, warned, and protected from these marauding forces who are also known all the time physical, but on the social media, lurking around.
All right then.
With juicy bait for people to become vulnerable with their properties expropriated from them.
And I'm sure that this is just the beginning of the conversation. We will definitely be in touch with the Ghana Police Service to inform the public out there. This is still the polls. Don't forget that still up ahead. We have to talk about this. The figures are surging in the Ashanti region. We're talking about divorce right after this. Stay with us.